voltage is recovering. Oil pressure's off the peg with blades turning. If you're in the green for oil pressure, there's your 60.
The most fun things that I do at Nelson Aerodynamics is when I have a client and I'm teaching them to fly a helicopter. I remember the day that Lieutenant Nancy Bloom, female, taught me to hover a helicopter in 1991 after learning to fly airplanes. And this giant field turned into a postage stamp as she's handing me the controls one at a time, then two at a time, and then all my feet and my hands. And that giant field that was, I don't know, 25 football fields turned into a postage stamp. But I got it.
Everything helicopter. How to get started in helicopters. Complete start to finish or continued acquisition consulting, safety consulting, training operations, and management. Follow-on maintenance management. Further safety consulting, heliport and landing zone development. Pilot services, either full or in support of the owner flying. Helicopter equipping, flight test, and system development. Continued training, upgrading helicopters, and selling services.
I can take almost anybody and teach them to fly a helicopter. I've had young kids, I've had men, women, doesn't matter. Without the love and the passion, I couldn't set my clients up for success. And ultimately, that's what a mantra of our company is setting each other up for success. Success in allowing me to serve them and them benefiting from that real, conscientious, detail-oriented, safety-minded aircraft management, selling, equipping, you name it. Every client gets a different service profile because it's tailored, it's custom and it's tailored because everybody's got a different full set of needs. Sometimes they're just a question or two, and sometimes it's a full 20-year management of an aircraft, oversight of everything, and serving pilot services. The helicopter behind me, we did the paint scheme design with the family. We did the painting. We designed the seats. They're a seat design that I've done. We did the whole interior completely refurbished from what it was new out of the factory. This aircraft is almost 10 years old now, and people think it's new. We did a lot of the avionics as well. We oversee the maintenance, we oversee the operations, and we provide pilots for this helicopter.
Working with Nelson Aerodynamics helped me get through a very complex project, and I needed the guidance in order to be able to make sure that I was making the right decisions to be able to get this aircraft up and running as soon as possible. And I remember the day that we met up, all the hard work is behind us at that point. We're down to like the last couple items on the project, and we sit in that helicopter, we start cranking it up, engines spooling up, you know, blades are turning. Finally got that feeling, wow, we're almost done with this. You know, we just got to scratch off these last items. We got it off the dolly. I knew we were done. We had finally turned the corner, and it was time to have fun. Had some nervousness to go along with it, and Kevin pretty much said, I want you to focus in on that tower out there. You know, at the time I was doing what the normal pitfall. My scan was actually, you know, further down on the ground. And he said, scan that tower out there, and I want you to climb it just like a ladder. Don't take your eyes off of it. Nice and smooth. And we pulled off out of there, and it was like clockwork. We were safe, came up super steady, nice and straight. We were able to depart the area, helping me with quick decisions that I needed to make, being there available for me through every step of the way, answering your phone, providing me with your network of people that are behind you, and the relationships that I was able to take advantage of, just being able to connect with Nelson Aerodynamics.
There are literally thousands of people just in the United States that, number one, have the desire to know something or to fly a helicopter themselves. They have the means to do this. They don't know where to start. We help set expectations, and we guide people in this process. We have cut our teeth in the high net worth, owner-flown, private owner of helicopters with high happiness coefficients. And in the case of this current client that we're sitting with their aircraft today, we're in our 20th year of serving this family for their private helicopter needs. The owner flies, the son flies. We've got 3 generations that are partaking in helicopter operations with our staff. Every year they conduct EuroSafety training, with which I'm one of the trainers for EuroSafety International. The owner of this aircraft does practice auto rotations every year, and his son. No engine engagement, it's running at idle, and they bring this all the way to a smooth touchdown. I could be holding a full cup of coffee sitting right next to them, and they're flying the whole thing, and they touch it down, roll the throttle back up to flight, and they're on their go. They'll do 15 or 20 of those each year. We've been doing it for 10 years in this aircraft, and it's still in great shape. I get to have very close, call it intimate relationships with our clients. We know their spouses, we know their grandkids, we know their kids. And if I cannot look at myself in the mirror and know that I've done everything for my clients to keep them safe, keep their families safe, and the public, I'm gonna back away, and sometimes we don't hire clients. It's serious business, but with that serious business done right and trained from the start the right way, incredible fun, incredible tool, and we can maintain that asset value, pass it on to another buyer for good dollars, and they can move on to another helicopter. Most of the time when we're teaching somebody at Nelson AeroDynamics to fly a helicopter, they have no airplane or aviation ratings. That takes longer than somebody who is doing an add-on rating. Usually 4 months to a year for an add-on rating. For somebody who's never flown anything, frankly, we're taking 1.5 years, 2.5 years sometimes, because they also have kids at home. They've got a business to run, but also we're not hurrying it through. And generally our clients are smart enough to understand that they're not learning to impress somebody, they're learning to stay alive and do it well and come out with a long history of flying a helicopter and pass on those interests to other family members with never hurting anybody. You know, if somebody really wanted to get through quicker and they still had that mindset of, I'm gonna be good and safe and not a risk unnecessarily at all, yeah, could we move somebody through a lot faster? We could do boot camp and we could hit it hard. We can meet your schedule. My clients need to have themselves safe, their family safe, the public safe, my staff safe when Nelson AeroDynamics is serving them, and when that aircraft is sitting in their private heliport hangar here, it needs to be safe. The more I can eliminate surprises, the higher the happiness coefficient is for my clients. Let us do that. Let us do that for you, and let us help the helicopter industry, you as a client, and Nelson AeroDynamics, leave no one harmed, your bank book in the best position it can be, and your happiness coefficient way up there. We encourage you to at least give us a call, probe, find out, see if we're a good fit for you. Why we do what we do is to have you succeed, not just to get you into our client list. We're not here just adding clients, we're here adding success, adding fun, adding safety, and really enhancing the public safety, enhancing the relationship in the industry with the public, and having you benefit from that decades of experience.
While you continue watching this video, here's a testimonial from Mark, one of our clients.
The attention to detail has been super impressive to us. The follow-up, the follow-up reports via email, the side-by-side comparisons, the pluses and minuses of what we just looked at, the way he lays it out because of the education and what I need to know 6 and 10 and 12 years down the road, what to expect, brings it down to a level that the everyday person can understand how helicopters work and how they're maintained and all that. And then on top of that, from the log books and looking at all the back history, now you shift gears, he can jump in the thing and fly it. I mean, he knows everything there is when you're inside that cockpit. And I said to myself, can you imagine trying to purchase $1 million helicopter without having Kevin? I think he's got a templated master plan of how he's been able to help me not only get a helicopter, but he's showing me where you can save some money, where he's very direct. There's no candy coat, nothing. If there's something's coming up, he's going to tell you there's this due, this annual's due. He was transparent as anything, and that's huge. Transparency in this industry is huge, and laying everything on the line. Kevin was constantly sharing, you do this, or hey, we're an autopilot now, or Kevin is a constant educator of what he's doing. I don't believe there's anybody else that can fulfill that role. He's a great guy, and he's willing to do whatever he's got to do to help you if you retain his services. Only do business with the best of the best, period. And that's Kevin Nelson.